You didn't think I'd forget you, did I? G'day everyone and welcome back to Tom's Brook Farm. I'm going to get it out at the beginning of the episode for once. If you guys are enjoying this content, then give us a like. If you aren't subscribed already, then please consider subscribing. Share it to somebody who you think might enjoy this sort of content, a WA farmer showing the ins and outs of farming. And also don't forget to go and check out the Glass Cage podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those sort of platforms. So yeah, righto, let's go get into the video. Let's hope for a better day today for spraying. I sure as hell hope it's a better day. I've got about 420 hectares to go till I finish the wheat. And in Flexi-n here, it's very small, very slow paddocks. So I'm going to be probably the whole day here. I've got 8,000 litres left in that truck there, and then I'm going to go fill that up. So I got 2 more loads and a little bit. And then to finish off is basically just under 3.5 tanks. So I'm hoping that I can squeeze that out and I'm not left with a bit of leftover, but we shall see. Despite my best effort, I was only able to get 7,700 litres into the truck because the way the truck is, you can't actually suck it dry, which is a bit annoying. But anyway, I'm heading up to the shed now. We'll grab that flexi-n and I'm going to fill this truck just a little bit fuller than what we normally do, and I'll explain that when I get up there. Well, flexi-n did get delivered yesterday, so absolute bonus there, didn't have to worry about that. Tanks are all full and that's now going to complete me for the flexi-n program. So I said I was going to fill it higher than what we normally do. Normally we fill to 10,000 litres on the tank, so 20,000 litres in total. That gives us 2 full brews plus a little part brew. But normally we always take it away and fill it back up as soon as Henry's done 2 brews. Now I'm going to fill it a bit more than normal so I can try and finish off Flexi-n down there. But the reason we only go to 10,000, well 20,000, is because on the top there where you got your manhole covers to get in, we used to have lids for them and they used to have big breathers go through them. We actually had to drill them ourselves and put them in, and it didn't go to plan. Obviously, because we're drawing out of there, the Agrifac draws 8,000 litres in about 8 minutes or 9 minutes, whatever it is. So you can't have the lids closed, otherwise you're going to suck the tanks in. We had these breathers on and they work, but they kept on coming unscrewed. So we teched them into the threads so that they wouldn't move. But that was just causing cracking. Plus, because we had to drill in and put these things in, they caused cracking. And essentially they broke. And we only filled to 10,000, 20,000 because it's our safe fill level. When you're driving down the road, you know, and you're getting that slosh, you're not getting anything coming out when you only fill it to that level. Now at the back, we've got a bit of draper mat that we've tech screwed in, so it's just it's a lid. So nothing can splash out the back, which is good because we tow Bill behind that. And we don't want, obviously, Bill covered in flexi-n. But the front doesn't have a lid at all. And that's where you really don't want it to come out, because when you're braking or pulling up, if you're not careful, it'll slosh forward and obviously go on the truck, which we do not want. So yeah, I'm gonna fill it that a little bit higher and just drive that a little bit slower so that I can finish off down there. Made it down here with no spillage at the front. There was a little bit of spillage at the back when I took off. If you can see that with the sun behind you, I'm not sure. But there should be about 23,000 litres in there. So that should hopefully get me finished down here. Right, put my gumboots on and then I'll hold the camera out the door when I start the tractor. And you will see what I mean when whenever I turn the agri-fac on, it does a little rev up, and that's to excite the big alternator, and that's what that little plug for was on the other one, on the little alternator, to stop it from getting excited. And yes, boots must come off, especially because you spray, go up there, and you have a bootless cab. It's ideal. Right. That little rev there is why there's a plug on the small one. We are finally underway. It does take a bit more time to fill up and then go and fill up the truck and then come back to then get spraying. But I prefer to do it that way because that way now for the rest of the day I'm just constantly spraying, and I don't get the day broken up by having to stop, go up, fill up and come back. Even though it'll be the same amount of time for doing it now to doing it later, it's still mentally, you know, it feels like it's taking longer and you're missing out on spray time. So I just prefer to get it all sorted in the morning. I've got my essentially 3 tanks, well, it'll be 3 and a bit tanks all here ready to roll. Not sure if I'll get through it all today. The paddocks that I'm going into are not the best. So it's this one up here and then this one down here. They are very slow paddocks, lots of turning, not very long runs, lots of trees. So yeah, I'll be lucky if I get it done today, but I shall keep you updated. So I just finished that paddock. There was only 16 hectares left in there. Now I'm going into here, and this is why it is going to take so long to get it done, and it's because there are so many little small parts that you got to go through and in, and different run lines, and it just takes time. The paddock I'm in, it's called F block. Now, it was called F block when we bought the block, but we like to call it another name. It starts with an F. It hasn't always been the best paddock for us. It's a lot of sand. This is where I've done quite a lot of the claying, and just so I'm not always showing you guys the best bits, this is currently what it looks like. Not ideal. It's not a huge area, so it'd probably be about let's call it 15 hectares. Probably need to do some soil samples and some tissue samples on these the barley the wheat that's there, just to find out what it's lacking. But my guess is that it's just shallow sand. When we had a couple of years ago, we had a really bad year of wind, and it blew all of this area basically back to sand, which meant that nothing really grew. And it came back, quite well considering that it was sand. But yeah, since then it just hasn't performed, and yeah, it's not, well, obviously it's not ideal. I think we can't sort of clay this sort of area. It's a giant area to try and clay. Maybe something like potash might be the best option for us, spreading potash on. Yeah, we'll have to do some investigating and some samples and just see. It's crazy. You can see where the soil types are. It goes from this, and then as soon as you get on the top of the hill there, it's all nice green crop and thick. But yeah, this stuff here just isn't ideal. But yeah, instead of hiding it from you guys, I figured I may as well show you. Every farmer, I'm sure, struggles with sections of land that they're not overly proud with, but that's farming. And yeah, you can see as we're coming up here, it's starting to get better and better and better, and then by the time we get up here, it's back to normal. And then you can see over there, it's all nice and green. It's a nice crop. But that little section there, it's on a hill, and yeah, just doesn't like life at the moment. I'm now on my second tank for the day, and I'm just coming into the stuff that we spaded last year. Now last year when we seeded it, it was a bit of a failure. We didn't really get much growing, but this year it's much better. So it's obviously quite patchy, as you can see, but what I want you to take note on is how healthy all these plants are. They are lovely, deep green plants, and there's a few of the stuff that I spread with the spreader probably about a month ago. That's all sort of coming up. Hasn't worked in all places, but yeah, even though the plants, there's only a few of them really compared to what there should be, the plants are there, amazingly healthy, which is fantastic to see. So that's because well, nothing used to grow here. It was just all sand, and putting the clay on top and incorporating it has meant that the non-wetting sand has disappeared, and the clay is binding with it, and it's able to actually get some nutrients to the plant and actually get some water into the profile, which is nice. And yeah, it's still got some ways to come, but yeah, it is much better than what it was. Right, finished F block finally, and now I'm into the last paddock of wheat. So we call this one Rushine A, and it isn't A grade. It's well, we're getting better. It was full of rocks. It's still full of rocks. There's lots of trees, but if you have a look at that for a boundary, not a damn straight run if you could bloody. This one takes a long time. It's currently basically 1 o'clock. I've got 3,700 litres on board, so we'll see how we go with getting this one done by the end of the day. Just finished brewing up again. There's probably going to be about, well, there should be around 6,000-ish litres in there, but I think I'll only get about 5,000 out of there. But that'll should still be heaps. That should be enough for me to finish this paddock, I hope. Yeah, I think it'll come. I think I'm going to have leftover. which would be good. I didn't quite finish that tank. What I've done 102 hectares, and I've still got roughly about 1,400 litres on board, but that's only just under 25 hectares to go. But the paddock sort of splits in two now. It's going to be impossible for me to show you as I'm driving along, but the bottom there is where I'm going. So to go down there for 25 hectares and then have to fold up, come back all the way up to fill up, go back down would just be quite annoying. I'm at the top of the paddock now because I've just finished up this little section. I'm going to go and fill up, get full, head down, and then finish that off, and then the wheat will be finished. Truck is empty. I got basically 5,000, nearly 5,500 litres out of that. We're sort of hanging around that 7,000 litres now to 6,800 as I'm moving along. So that should be just over 100 hectares of coverage out there, which I think is more than enough. But I said that yesterday, and I said I only had 10 hectares to go, and it was 40. So my guessing is way off. I think I'm going to make it. If not, it'll be no. I should just have a little bit left on. That's what's going to happen. And the wheat is finally all done. Just got that canola left to go that we went down and had a look at yesterday. How much do I have left on board? I've got 2,800 litres, so I was well and truly going to finish this paddock, which I am very glad for. So now I'm just going to get the boom back to the brew-up pad there. I need to then give it a wash, although it looks like we might get a little bit of rain, maybe. Not a lot, nothing was really predicted. And then tomorrow is moving day, so I need to move everything down to Hatton's and get going in the canola. So I will see you guys in the next one.